Okay, so yesterday we did some API calls and code is right here. So we saw post mapping, which actually inserts record in database. Then we saw get, which only fetches one record. Then we also saw how to fetch all records. And we tested all these endpoints by using Postman. Okay, fine. And this is our database. Close this one. Um, Laptop. There it is. Okay, some three records are there. Dismiss. So this is for post for creation. If I hit this one, we'll get some message. Oh, by the packet is down. Let's run again. I'll suggest if all the application in your workspace are closed state, then only click this button. Otherwise, you might click something else, or you might execute some other project and then will be wondering why my project is not running or my request is not processing. Okay, so this is not giving anything. Giving all. Here it is. Okay, so let's quickly create two more endpoints, one for delete, one for update. So delete is quite simple as we have done get. Same thing we can do. I'll copy this, paste it. Okay, so instead of delete, it's going to be delete mapping. Let's import from the library. So endpoint remains same. This will be the method name gets to delete laptop, capital L. Then it takes ID and it remains same because before deletion I need to cross check whether that ID is there or not in database. Then only should we should delete that. It's laptop, not user. I'm so obsessed with the user. Okay, so laptop is here done. If it is not found, we should get a message on console. Else, it should get the record and it. So this time we are not supposed to get anything. We are supposed to delete that thing. So here we will do that part. Um, The call for database goes through laptop repository, this reference. So copy this. Here I'll say dot delete, like it was find by ID. We have a method which says delete by ID and give the ID here. If it is there, things get deleted. And in response, I am returning that object which is removed. So this is also not say ideal, but the best solution I would say for now, that whatever object gets deleted, I'll get it in response. That because on Postman I'm just about to send one ID 3 to whatever, and when I send the request for delete type, I should get that object which was deleted. So at least front end or the code which is executing or testing your API, it knows okay this object got deleted because that code will only send ID. So on the basis of that ID, that particular object gets deleted. Okay, this is done. And okay, let's test it first. And I need to stop this service. So same way, execute. Okay, let's start it. Append. So this time request type would be delete, and things remain same like we have here. So I'll copy that and you guys see, either you can change this request type, give your IDs and do, or you can do this way as well. Okay, or you have this button, you can expand and close this uh, previous or history of the request this way. I prefer it this way, so it's fine. Delete here, ID pasted. So let's try with first of all, this is not present. This is not present database. Request sent, 200 okay, fine. And if I check Eclipse console, laptop ID not found, fine. And we have some records. Let me add some more dummy data. 5, some name, apply, finish. Okay, let me check the all API, get, and yeah, I can see two more records and request. Now I can delete fifth ID. ID selected, And if everything was fine, I should get that object in response. Why? Because I have written that way. Before deletion, I am expecting that in database it's there, and if it is there, they should get deleted. Oh, my bad. I forgot to initialize this object. Yep, it should be there. This line. And let me stop this. Java code change done. So stop the server. So whatever comes from here, it gets initialize that object and I'll return it. Okay, so let's run this code again. Again, it's completely optional. It's not an hard and fast rule that you have to return an object. It's totally depend upon the requirement. Either you want to return something or not. Usually, sometimes user says, okay, I just want to say delete, and that's it. But I would say if you want to delete something, the caller, the in our example we took PHP. Maybe let's change to PHP from to Angular. Let's say Angular is calling this API. So at least Angular should know that record is deleted. So how it will know once you return something? And if you're not returning anything, so front end get confused whether that operation happened or not. So ideally you should return anything like a boolean value or the whole object. It's totally up to your design. Okay, so I'm returning the whole object. Let's test this get up here again. Yep, ID5 is here. Request send, and there we go. So ID5 is deleted. Let's check this endpoint to get all records. Request send, and I can see only 4 objects. So yeah, deletion is successful, and I got the deleted object from the call. Okay, so it's just a way. It's not the only way. So as per your requirement, as per your design, the what these front end guys wants, you can design your APIs and accordingly work around. So we wrote this, then we hit this API from Postman. In return, we got this response. Okay, so this is done. Nice. So our delete API is also working fine. Okay, next is put. So put is same as post. The only difference is when you are sending post request. I think I gave a hint as well yesterday. Oh, so you don't need to pass ID. I mean, in post request you don't need to pass it, but in post it is required. It is mandatory because that's how it knows that which object has to be modified. So more or less code remains same for post as well. So I'll copy the post request. There it is. I copy it and I'll change it to put. Let's import this annotation. Endpoint remains same. Laptops. That's how it knows because put is there. Then instead of saying save, I'll call this update laptop. It will take request body. That's fine. And let's remove this message. No more. This as well. Okay. Yep. So of course, you can put multiple checks like where before updating, you want to cross check whether that object is there or not. So I can take this code, update it, and we need this line. I'll cut this and remove this delete by ID to post or save. So post request, everything is same. Laptop is coming from here. So I'll call this response laptop. This one laptop goes here, then it goes here, then it goes here. Okay, so null, then initialized, and then it gets saved. Actually, we can do one thing. Why should I get it? As we know, save returns object, right? So let's get rid of this line and we will initialize this object, response object from there. Copy it, paste it, equals, and done. Okay, fine. So, and oh, it needs ID. So ID won't come in a path variable. We have that ID in request body itself. So laptop dot, I'll get that ID from here. Okay, so idea is we will send a whole body. In that body, we'll pass ID. It's a post request. That ID goes in database and returns something. If it is empty, returns laptop ID not found. If it is there, so it will save the whole object, whatever you're sending, and then return the response, the updated object you will get in response. Okay, so terminate. Okay, let's see how it is working. Restarting the server. Okay, it started. Let's create one more endpoint. So it will be post type, sorry, put type, needs a URL. So you can take any URL and we will refactor till laptops. Fine. Next is because it's a put request, so it needs body. So I'll take that body from here, or I can even copy from here, whatever I want. Let's take this fourth one. And how to get that body? Body, raw, and from drop down, select JSON and paste it. This looks ugly, I mean, in terms of how it looks like, and always, as a best developer, you should always refactor your screen or codes. So there's a button beautify, you can also use this one. So this get systemized, better way, that way. So at least it's readable. Okay, so we have ID 4, brand is this, price is this. So I want to change it. Let's say I want to change it to Asus. That's the price. Okay, and if I check in database, refresh, 5 is gone. This is the entry. Okay, let's change something else so we can see the difference. Save. Okay, fine. Going to request this body on this endpoint. Fine. So I got the updated one. This is not the one what we're getting from here. It is coming from database. Because I wrote the code, I know it is coming from database. This is not coming from here. And if we cross check in database, let's verify, refresh, and yep. Oh, price is not getting changed. Price is not updated. Oh, my bad. Something didn't goes well. Um, price is here. Price is here. What went wrong? Weird. Name is same. Everything's fine. We're just sending what we have here. Okay, let's do one thing. I'm not sure what just happened. Let's learn how to debug the code. Debug is really important, guys, and during development, debug is your best friend. Even your colleague cannot help you that fast. The debug can. Okay, so and you can 100% rely on the debugging. So what you have to do? Just it's a different way to execute program. So we are just today learning how to debug your code, the Spring Boot application, which is really important and mandatory to learn it. So like we execute from the main method, right click, we have option run as. So this time we won't pick run as, we'll pick debug as. That's it. That's one difference. Okay. So first step is right click on your main method or your execution point, and instead of picking run as, pick debug as, and you will get this option for all the projects. Either it's a core Java application, it's a web application, or a Spring Boot application. You will get both options. So debug as, and since it's a main method, so Java application clicked. So everything looks similar. There will be no difference. We have to just enhance its functionality. So there it is. So far nothing different, unless I mean, like, the only thing is we just change the way how we're running it. Next, we have one functionality we call this debug points or breakpoints. So the line where you want to and like understand what happened actually. So what you can do, right click on that and there's option toggle breakpoint. Click on it and you can see there's an icon came up on line 68. Let me try it again. Let's see on line 73. So right now nothing is here. Right click and toggle breakpoint. Okay, so right now it is disabled, I guess. Yeah, it is enabled. How to enable these breakpoints? There's icon at top. Skip all breakpoints. Watch out when I click on this. I clicked and a line goes through, a horizontal line. Horizontal, it's like diagonal line is coming up. 68, 63, 73. When I uncheck, it goes away. So it is enabled, now disabled. Enabled, disabled. So I want this in a enable state so I can verify what happened on this line. And you can, if you're not sure where to put it, always put on your first line of your method. Don't put on your method name, always on your first line. Let me enable the debug point. Okay, now let me clear this. So what I just did, right click, debug as, and then I put some breakpoints and verify they are enabled or disabled. Then simply you have to invoke the same way we did. So I'm going to invoke this, and you can see now Eclipse is blinking, right? And this is not executed. It just says sending request because now request is blocked because we have put a debug point. Debug point stops your execution flow and waits for the developer when they execute. So it says this screen is there. So I'll say remember my decision and don't switch. Just say no. Leave it that way. And some debug screen comes up. So it's pull and put it here. Otherwise it will bother you again every time on every single line. So just drag and put it somewhere like this way. You're not going to use it at this moment, so just put it this way. Okay, now you can see line 68 is highlighted. That means debug point is stopped on it on this line. Let me hover my mouse on line 67. This is line 67. When I hover my mouse on the reference, laptop reference, you guys can see everything I can see here. Whatever I sent from uh, Postman, it's here. ID4, brand Asus, price, some 1111 number. Nice. Just by hovering. So I can verify here whatever I sent from Postman, it's here. Cool. Next line says repository, find by ID, and it is there. So what you can do, you can press one line here. Now we have buttons here. This is the whole, you can say, dashboard for debug point. Green button for next line. This for suspend. This for stopping your execution. And we have to look into this line. Step over. Step over will help you to debug the code line by line. So line 68 is going to be execute. It is not yet executed. If I hover my mouse on OP laptop, it will just say nothing. Nothing is there because it is not even initialized. When I click on step over, clicked, only then line 68 will get executed, and whatever data is coming from database, laptop repository.find by ID, it will go in database, fetch it, and initialize OP laptop. Fine. So let's hover my mouse, not hover, click on step over button, and something is happening, and you can see select query is triggered, and now line the debug point is on 69 because I have clicked on step over. Now if I hover mouse on OP laptop variable, I can see it's coming. So oh, it's here. So why it's not updated here? Let me try to execute this. It's updated. I think something was messed up with the database. It was not showing the updated value. Okay, but okay, we are still learning debug point. How to debug. So if I hover, I can see value is updated here. Price 1111 is here. Must be some glitch. Okay, now debug is on line 69. So right now variable response laptop is nothing. It is not rendered. So let me not executed, not render, executed. Let me click on step 6, F6 button or step over button, and now it is on line 70. So I want to verify whether it's empty or not. So if it is empty, it goes it here and prints ID not found, else it goes here and save that object. So I'll click F6 again or step over button, and here we go. Because you know it has a data, you can still verify it has a data. It is not empty. So it goes to else block, goes to database, save it, and right now you can see response laptop is null just by hovering. I'm not clicking anything, just hover is enough to check what you have in your debug points. So right now response laptop is null, and when save happened, insert query will get triggered from Hibernate, and it returns whatever it saved, and response laptop variable get initialized. So I'm clicking again that step over button. Okay, that happened. If I hover my mouse, yes, now it is initialized. So it has everything what we are supposed to get from database. And if I hover here, it's there. Now everything's fine. So I can disable my debug points. You can see it's disabled. Then I can click on this green button, resume button, and execution successful. So if you see, now Postman is giving the data correct. Let's do this again for other record. I'm going to fetch all records. So this will give you a kind of refreshment how debug is working. So this API will fetch all APIs, all records from database. So let's go to this call laptops. That's oh, it's just a one line. Leave it. Let's see this one record. So right now we don't have any debug point. So what I'll do, I'll put debug point on first line, line 38. So right click, breakpoint. So when I execute, the breakpoint will stop on line 38, but I can see it is disabled. Let me enable it. Okay, now it is enabled. I'll go back to Postman. This is the endpoint, and this time we will search for which is not present in database, 300. Okay, go to request, and if you have placed debug points correctly, Eclipse will blink and debug point will be there. Yes, it is there, blinking. Going back, and then if I hover my mouse on line 37 variable ID, it's here. If I hover, yep, I can see 300. It is coming from ID, this one. Fine. This method, find by ID, goes in database, search the ID, and if it is there, OP laptop get initialized. Again, line 38 is not executed. Line is the debug point is still there. It is highlighted. Let me click step over button. There it is. And if I hover my mouse, it is empty. Obviously, it's not in database. ID 300 is not present, so it becomes empty. So that's how it looks like. It says value null optional dot empty. Now this variable get initialized with null value. Step over, laptop will get null value. Okay, now it will check. If it is empty, it goes in if block and prints laptop ID not found on console, and then return the null value. Step over one more time. It should go on line 41. Step over, there it is. And now when I again click on step over, I should get messages in console. Okay, laptop ID not found, and it jumps over to line 45, which has a null, nothing to print, so nothing happens. So when I'll just disable debug and resume. And if I cross check, it's empty, nothing. Okay, let me go back, enable debug, and this time I'll give correct data. 3. Executed, debug on. If I hover, this time ID should be 3. Great. It goes in database and initialize OP laptop. Step over, and I can verify. Yep, data is here. 3 HP, the price is there. Nice. The laptop variable get initialized, so I can return value, and it's null. Fine. Then laptop dot is empty. No, it's this time it's not. So instead of going if, it goes in else block, and the value for laptop get initialized from get method. Step over, clicked, and it's else block. Still laptop is null because line is not executed. Let me click F6 or step over. Variable should get initialized with the value coming from database 3 HP and 189. And let me disable and execute. Execution happened, and I can see variables here. So that's how we debug. Try in your system. Just watch this video multiple times and see how you can control the whole flow of your code. Okay, and yep, all endpoints are working fine. Just give me a minute. Let me put all this on paint. So the basic CRUD operations with my MySQL is completed. So this was the endpoint. Okay, this is how we requested it. And this is what we get in response. Okay, so all CRUD operations are performed. Next, we can learn how to handle some use cases or exception cases or exceptions basically. But exception, just thinking. Okay, that might help us. So we are going to learn exception handling, and then we will again create a project, and there we will implement some more functionalities. So I will again create a new Spring project maybe tomorrow. Fine. So we are going to talk about how we can handle exceptions. Or I have one more thinking what should I do in case what we have laptop. Okay, I'll keep it simple for now. Maybe in next Spring Boot project we'll do that. Just give a minute. So we are talking about exception handling. How we can do exception handling. Again, it's quite simple. If you know the annotation, it can be done in um, 3 steps, I guess. Yeah, maybe one more steps extra, but 3 steps minimum for that. So we are learning how to handle exceptions in right this way. Handle oh what happened? Handle exceptions in API. Okay, or REST API is better. REST API. This is a topic. Fine. So first thing you have to do. First thing is create a custom exception class. I don't know how many of you remember how to create custom exception classes, but yeah, we can do that. Next, create a Java class which will be on used as global exception handler. Okay, so there that class will do that exception. Then um, create a method inside it means that global exception handler. I'll copy this better. And uh, for specific exception. Okay, so we will see what does it mean. So let's do this. So let's put a requirement here. So requirement is quite straightforward. In our case, we are writing endpoints, and in case if nothing is happening, we are getting this thing this way, ID not found. But that goes um, on console. I want something on my postman response here. I want this message that it's not working. Okay, so I'll try how it can be done. So first step is creating that class. So even before that, we need to create a package specific to exceptions. So let's right click on the project, then new, and not here it is. Right click on the root package, then package, and I'll just call this exception. Okay, so this package will be all about exceptions. So right click here, and I'm going to create first custom exception class. So in our case, we are generating this message when laptop is not found. So I can say laptop not found exception, right? Laptop not found exception. That's the standard we are following up, and we have seen multiple classes in exception handling as well, like file not found, class not found. So laptop not found. Okay, Java class is ready. So how to create custom exception? We have to extend one class, extends runtime exception class. Then we have to uh, create multiple things. So private string message or exception message. Then we will create two constructors. One will be default. So you can use even this as well. Constructor uses superclass, and I'll just pick only this one, which takes string, and generate, and I'll clear this out. Or let's use it super. So it will be explicitly visible that we are sending super to message, and one will be default one with fields. This is default, so let's clear this out, this thing out. Okay, what's the error here? Oh, it don't need this one actually. Default is this one. Fine. It was a duplicate message. Sorry, constructor. Fine. So this is ready, and because we have one more field message, I want to get that message actually in case if I required. So I'll create one for this public. This is going to be a method get exception message, and here I'll simply say return that message. Run MSG. Okay, so a custom exception class is ready. I copy it, going back. This is the first step. Okay. Okay, so first class is ready, which has this thing. Our custom exception class is ready. Next, we need to create a Java class which will be used as a global exception handler. So again, it will be a simple Java class which will be marked with some special annotation, controller advice. Okay, so let's create that. I click new Java class. I'll say right, I'm calling it global exception. Global exception handler. Again, you are free to use any name, but this make more sense if someone reads, they understood, okay, this is the central point, and this class should be marked with at controller advice. Okay, it's done. So second step is done. Create a Java class which will be used as a global exception handler. How do we know it's exception handler? Because of this annotation. Let me put this in bracket or leave it. Not working that way. Copy this line. Actually, I can copy both. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let's create the class. Class is ready. We have to create a method inside it. So second step is about this. Code is fine. Okay, second step is done. Third. Got it actually. Oops. Okay. Third image. Fifth image is ready, and we have to create a method. Okay, so right now we have a case which says laptop is not found, something like that. So we have to write a method and make sure that you are naming it the same way what we want. So it goes like public. For now, I don't know what should be type, so void. Then I'll call this method handle laptop not found exception. Just a naming convention, you can use it anything, but this make more sense, I believe. So I'm calling it handle laptop not found exception. But how does it knows? Because what we wrote for our third point, create a method inside this class for specific exception. So how do we know this method is for just by writing this? It doesn't make any sense that it is really handling exception, that laptop not found exception. So we have to mark it with at exception handler, and there you have to write that exception name, that this method is all about laptop not found exception dot class. So line 9 tells the Spring Boot that the below method is all about laptop not found exception. So if it is like that, so what we need to do, we have to modify the signature and pass one reference this way. So it will get automatically initialized by the Spring Boot. You don't have to write anything much, at least at this stage. And let's just verify even this is called or not. So I'll just say uh, this say laptop not found exception occurred. Fine. So let's run this much code, then we'll verify the other things. And I think system is all running. Let's stop the service, remove it. Okay, and now we can run this application again in a simple way. I'm not running in debug mode. Again, you are free to run it even debug mode to verify. Okay, it's there. Oops, sorry, I forgot. We haven't dropped or throw this exception yet, or we haven't called this class yet. Okay, so going back to the controller. So let's do this on get. So when we're verifying or fetching one laptop, here we're saying system print out something. So after this, I'll say throw. We have used this throw keyword. Throw new laptop not found exception. Done. Okay. So here on line 43, I am explicitly throwing one exception by using throw keyword. So this is the best way of using throw, and that's the most of the time we are. If you see throw keyword, this is how it will be used, mostly for custom exceptions. Okay, I think this should be fine. Let's where I clicked on debug point. That's fine. So we started. Let's run the get point first of all. Verify the correct, I mean the positive case where we have the ID. Yeah, at least my previous code is not breaking. Every time whenever you do any this kind of change, always verify either previous changes or previous code is working or not, or it might get break. Okay, so that code is working. Let's check for 300 request sent. Okay, we are not getting here, that's fine. If we check console, yes, I can see I have thrown exception from here. This goes to this method here, and it prints laptop not found exception occurred. That means we are able to, okay, there's a typo, ignore that. But yeah, we are able to call this method just by writing a class, custom exception class, then calling it inside our global exception handler or the controller device class. Nice. Okay. Now what else we can do? Um, it just says this, but I am not getting the reason why, right? It just says occurred, but why it happened? I don't have any information yet. Exception is happening, but what's the reason? So stop. Let me stop the service and going back to the controller. So after throwing laptop not found, I have to mention reason as well. What just happened? So here I'll give the reason, and I can take this reason from here. Laptop ID not found, and I can give the ID as well. Laptop ID, which ID? Full quotes plus plus, and I can find ID here. So it will say which ID is not found. Semicolon. Okay, code format. So it says laptop ID, and whatever ID will give, it will not say not found. Okay, and server is down. Let's run this again. This is always a pain for you guys to stop service and do the change, at least for me, because I'm not teaching you in step by format. At least for you guys, just do the change and then test your changes. Okay, Tomcat started. Let's go back. I'll keep this 300 and request send. Still empty. That's fine. I'm expecting it's empty right now. But here, oh, it is here. But I forgot one thing. After passing this message, I am not printing on here. Still, it is just this message. Okay, again stopping the service, and this time I'll put a comma and say exception. This exception is coming from the argument, this one. So I'll say exception dot get me the exception message. Oh, wrong pick. Get exception message. This is actually a method we create for ourselves, this one. So this will get automatically initialized when we are binding this to global exception handler, and we are calling this method get exception message. Here we are, and we are getting red message obviously because we are putting it this way. Okay, fine, it's fixed. Let's run the code again. Okay, so we started. Let's hit the send button, empty response, and here I can see laptop exception occurred, laptop ID 300 not found. Cool. So at least we are getting some meaningful message that exception occurred and this is the reason. The ID is not there. Okay, this is making sense. Fine. Let's proceed and enhance this code. So this is not enough. Again, everything is on console. I want here on this screen, right? That's the whole idea to writing this all these stuffs. So we have a class which is known as response entity that can be used to return a proper response. Okay, so we can do that. That's why I haven't copied this method yet. We have to refactor it. So I'll keep this message as it is and change it to from void to response entity. Response entity, yeah, this one. And for now, I'll say this could be a case. What should I return? Okay, for now I'll return object. I'll see what I can do because usually I don't teach this topic without working in a project. But let's see how it will work out. So right now I'm returning response entity of object type. Fine. Now, how to initialize this object, this response entity object? So it goes like uh, return, because that's what it is expecting. Return, oh, come on, return, then new, then response entity. Okay, then here I'll create one object of string, let's say string, or let's say create a map. Okay, I'll create a map. String, string, say response, rest response. Okay, then new, I'll pick which one I should pick. Let's pick hash map is fine, I guess. We don't need to worry about the sequence. Hash map done. Now in this hash map, import done. Then I'll say in rest response, I'll say set. No set, it's a put. And then input we have to pass keys. What we're expecting. So I'll say um, exception. Exception class name. Okay, that's my key. Exception class name. And here I can pass this class name. Laptop class that. Okay. Since it's a map or collection, I can pass more values as well. So rest response dot put here. I'll say reason. What's the reason? So at reason side, I can say exception dot get me the exception message. And once it's ready, I'll pass this rest response here. And let me convert this. No, that's fine. I think it will be fine. It will be object type, and then save. Okay. Or should I use this one? Because there are multiple ways to call this. Okay. Come on. Stop. Okay, so response entity, new response entity, then object type, then put a bracket, and I'll pass rest response, comma, http status, um, dot not found. Okay, you have to very particular what you're typing because we have multiple syntax here over there, so you will get easily get confused. Fine. So what we just did, we are returning response entity this time of object type. An object is a parent class of all classes Java. So we just created a map, added two keys here. One says the which class or exception class happened, and then what's the reason. And then we are adding that here, and we are clearly mentioning what's my HTTP status type. Fine. So this is done. Let's run this code again. And if everything goes fine, we should get this response on our uh, postman response section. So code executed again. This is already using. Why it's saying to stop, remove. Let's run this again. Okay, executed. Now I'm going to request this 300 again. And yep, now I am getting the response on my uh, postman. So that's how it works. We just getting that thing. And have you noticed the status we sent status from here, not found, and that is coming here, 404, which is commonly seen error status in on web pages or in web technology, and it is saying not found, and it took 193 milliseconds. So that's how you can customize your response. So let's put this third image or third section of class. Yeah, third is fine. I think three step is fine for now. We can go over with one more layer, but for first class I believe this is okay. So I'll suggest whatever you have done so far, create a new entity class, create a new entity fresh, and perform all CRUD operations and also handle exceptions as well. So that will give you more confidence over what you're typing and how your and the whole code is flowing. And this is what we requested. Oh, so we requested this ID which was not present, and when we requested, it says 404 not found, and everything is here. We just sent it from our code. We sent HTTP status not found. This is right here. Yellow, yellow. Okay, let me connect them as well. Okay, so that's the reason how come we are getting 404. So you can customize your response code as well from the code. The sole purpose of this example is to show you two different concepts of Spring Boot. First, how to handle exceptions, and how to send response as per your understanding. Right now I have used object. In next class we will again create a Spring Boot project from the scratch. We will do the Spring application, and we are going to create actually a project on Spring Boot. That's where I will give you multiple tasks, your homework. So as per your understanding, write the code, take help from Google or any AI tool, try to cover those things. Okay, so this is also done. Next topic, I would say, it's all about how your response would look like. Okay, let me do one thing. Um, just to just to keep my point clear. It is stopped. Don't know. Okay, now it is stopped. Okay, fine. So let's do one thing. I'm going back to controller file, and intentionally I'll just do one thing. Uh, this one. I'll call this line because I know if I give wrong ID and if I try to fetch it, I should get error. Okay, so I just manipulated this ID just for testing. So I'll give a wrong ID, it will go database, gives OP laptop null, and null dot get something will give you null pointer exception. Okay, so let's run the code, and I want to show something in terms of response. Let's see whether we get or not. Okay, it is up. Let's go back, and I know 300 is not there, so I'm going to request this endpoint again. Request sent. Okay, so we get lots of errors, and we are expecting it. No value present, no such element. That's fine. But check out here. When we give something wrong, we get a default message, right? And let's check this response. I'm just copied it. Okay. So when you do something wrong, code level or somehow server is not behaving as expected, so you will get this standard message from the Spring Boot server that this is not working properly. We have lots of thing out there which is not behaving. So what we have here, we have a timestamp when this request was raised. Status, it's the same status which we saw earlier, and it's here as well. 500 internal server error. Let me take a screenshot of this as well. Okay, fine. So this is the timestamp when request was made, the date and time basically. Status is the HTTP status code, the status. Error. What's the error? Internal server happened. What was the API? So path. So you can see in your response you're getting pretty much everything you are needing, at least for now. This is the standard response generated by Spring Boot applications. Boot app, right? So this is what we get. What if I want to customize it, right? What if I want to customize the response? This is also one critical thing, and this is what we usually do in our applications. We cannot go with the default flow. We always customize as per our requirements, as per the project. So what we will do, we will create a Java class. Okay, I'm now talking about custom response. Okay. If you guys okay, I can continue. Otherwise, we can discuss this tomorrow as well. I need everyone's yes that okay, we are comfortable. It will take next 10 minutes. Or maybe if we are done, I mean, not want to practice at least the CRUD operations, then exception handling, and then write your own operation, we can stop here. Yeah.
We can continue, Pankaj.
Okay. Everyone okay? If there's no, please say no. Else just don't unmute. I'll understand it.
You can continue, Pankaj.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That means no, there's no here. Fine. So let's do one thing. I need to make you understand that what could be that custom response. So ideally, we are going to create a class, simply a Java class, and let's say it will be a class. Let's say right now we don't have an application, so let's say app response. I'm calling that class app response. In this class, I'll put those fields which I mean the classes or whatever I need. So you can see at least we need these things: timestamp, status, error, and path. So I will take them and um, I'll add one extra stuff here. But we will do it in our way because right now we don't know how this is generated. We just get it by default. So first we need timestamp. I'll keep the field name as it is. Timestamp. Next we need status. Then error. We will customize this error. We won't get this way, not one line. We will give some more information. Error, and then path obviously, and one more thing, data. Okay, I'll tell you what this. Actually, let's put this in next paint. Let's save it. 7th. So this is the idea. We are going to create a custom Java class, a Java class which will be used as a custom response. So what does this means? Let's try to understand it. The timestamp is going to be of a date time. I'm explaining the date time here, where we will give date and time. Status, since it's just a string, so we will give as a string type, like 200, 404, or 500, the server errors. 404 is for request, 200 is successful. Error. In case of error, I'll create it a separate Java class. Or for now, we can even go with the, we have two options. Either we can get a Java class, one more Java class, or map, like we just used here. Uh, in this class, map. So you can use this way as well. And I can call this error, and I can put all the error information like this way. So it's up to us what we want, either a Java class or a map. Map is much efficient because it will be lighter. Java class will take the whole memory. Map is just a object. So I'll stick to the map. Oh, what is that? I'll hide this out. Okay, next one is path. So path will tell you the API name, which API got this out. So basically API path or name, whatever you understand it. And finally the data. So data is going to be actual response. We can see when we give the correct details, it comes up. But one thing is, I don't know which API triggers it, when this API got triggered, what's the status here if I just ignore this section. So I want this response here. What's the status? So I need all this information here as well. It is just a response, but I need additional information which is missing. So the I'll say correct API response. Okay, so this is what we're up to. So let me give you an idea how your good response looks like and how bad response look like. So tomorrow we'll create that. So I hope made this clear what is up to here, and let's copy this. In next paint image we will understand the correct when we have a successful API call and when we have a failed API call. So when it is failed, I should have copied it. I have to type again. Never mind. Let's do this. So when we get response, it goes like this way: object, then timestamp. Okay, and for that I can take help from here. Actually, I can take help from here. We'll save some time. Paste it. Okay, so timestamp this fine. I don't need this information. I'll give it a different format like this. Okay, so that will take our minutes, seconds. Second take status. So this is our let me increase the font. This is failed API response. That's how we will print it. Okay, so timestamp is there, error is there, but this time we won't show error this way. I'll create a body inside like this, and then we will have a key value like we did earlier. I need to refactor the code. Where is that controller? Let us keep it. Maybe I'll use it in future. Stop this. Comment out. Stop the service. Terminate. Execute it. Okay, service is up. Let's hit this API. Oh, it's not commented. What happened? Wait, let's run this again. Running this again. It was not commented, so it was giving that same exception as pointer. Idea is when we request, so it should go on this line. So we should see the customized response we just got. This one, yeah. So when we get error, so it should get printed like this way. uh, uh, paste it this way. Okay, this is how I want to print it. Error. And path is fine. And next object is data. This will say null because we don't have any data. It's an exception case. We got exception. So I'll copy it, and next we will see success case when we have success case. So copy it, paste it. So everything remains same most of the time, but this time we don't have any error, right? Because it's a successful case. So it will be null. Next line, success API response. So there will be no error. Everything's fine. Status will be 200. Laptop is endpoint 3, and this time I need to show data. So how we can show data? I can take from here. Yep, this looks bad. This one, 3 is here, so I'll copy this. Paste it. So that's how I'll print my response if it is successful. So in this case, when we have a success, error will be null. When we have failed, data will be null, and accordingly all fields will be there. So this is how we can customize our response. So tomorrow we will do this, but not just standalone. We will actually create everything from scratch. We will create a Spring Boot application, the backend application as a project, and there you guys will do lots of practice your code. Okay, so that's about today. So when we are doing that, we will learn some more concepts of Spring Boot side by side, and we will also implement this one. Like API is done, then we will integrate MySQL, then we will do custom response changes, then exception handling. We will also integrate loggers, swaggers, I mean whatever it's essential for learning in basic application. Okay, so that's it for today. Any question, doubt you guys can ask regarding any topic, else we can.
Pankaj, I have
Mhm. Okay, you are muted now. What happened?
Is our class one
Pan-
hour early from tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Mhm. Okay, I'll update that as well in group. Yeah, say something.
Pankaj, I'll share my screen. Can you just tell me, like,
Sure.
I've created another entity in the laptop dot Java,
Okay.
and I made as a entity like laptop service.
Mm.
Just a minute. Let me share the screen. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yeah. So here I've created one more entity, and in the controller, this is get, and here I've given as a put, and also I've added a model to the table,
Fine.
and but when I try to execute, it is not showing in the database.
The
It
column is
is
not there.
still, but here it is there.
Um,
The model is created, but the column is not created.
it's okay. Close the tab. Open again the table, laptop table. Close these two tabs from workbench.
Okay.
Tab means the center we have a laptop, laptop two tabs. Close all these tabs. These are older one.
Yeah.
Now open laptop again. Right click and show. Usually we do that. Laptop name.
Yeah.
Show the data. Okay.
Oh, okay. Model is there.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
not updated. Sometimes it happens.
Okay. And when I run this
Mm-hmm. Application.
application,
Okay, it started.
okay, this is started. And in Postman,
Mhm.
so basically, if I want to give like also, are these has to be exactly like how I created in the tables, like the ID, brand, price, and model.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be in the same format, or is it okay if I keep like this?
Keep in any sequence. But yeah, see, you no no. The name you have to follow like you have a model class. So write it
Model
as,
class.
yeah. If you give it in
Oh,
different way, it will not be understood by
okay.
the Spring Boot, and they will never get map in your class, as I feel.
Okay. So let's say if I give the model UH12 and this is the price, okay.
Mhm.
And okay. So why is it not giving in the body?
This is not found. Put a comma on line 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
So
are you sure that P is capital?
I
Cap
don't think
pri-
price no small.
should be
Okay.
in small. It's a field. And just put laptops is not there, huh? Now open the endpoint. Let's verify again your code. Backend code, open that. What is here? Laptop. You can see you're giving ID. Why are you giving ID? Line 59. That's why it's not fetched
15.
ID. You're giving
Yeah.
ID. So give the ID then, in your case. I know you have taken some reference somewhere. Give
Okay.
ID. Then if you're giving ID,
ID.
don't give ID on line 2. But if you're using it, then give it. Line 2 in JSON, you are giving ID 3.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. So
So
if I
remove,
mention here ID, then I have to remove here and then post.
yeah, ID won't work. You give the ID at
Well,
least number.
okay. Like this
Oh, come on. You haven't practiced path variable. Give the number. Just ID, remove ID and give like 1, 2, 3.
number. Okay.
Hmm. Now, again not found. Go back your code. Let's see. What else is missing? Laptops, then ID. And ID is here. Request body is here. Where should be here? Can you go back? Show me the endpoints again. Laptops and this.
Or I can just
Can you stop the
see.
service again? Let me just verify. Are we even running this right application? Backend code. And why you have a messed up thing? Why on line 78 you are not using laptops?
Laptops.
Line 78. If you
Yes.
are writing endpoint, they should be in symmetry. Don't just write anything.
Oh,
Okay?
it has to be in the same way.
Yep, everything should be in same way.
Okay. 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 Let me stop this.
Hmm. And in the meantime, scroll up. Let me see from the top what you have written. Scroll up.
Yeah. Here I gave API laptops.
Yeah, you have given API laptops. Why writing 2 times? Remove this line, line 22 for now. Stop the service. You are writing
Okay.
your endpoint start with localhost 8080 slash API slash laptops, then ID. Line 22, comment out for now. I don't think I have
Okay.
told you this for now. We will do this,
Yeah.
but tomorrow. Not required.
Okay.
You just mixed up
Okay.
two things together. That's why you were not able to execute. Now run
So
application.
it will. So the URL is like
Mm.
8080 and then API and then laptops
Laptops, then again laptops,
and
then
then
ID.
slash. Oh, okay. Okay. Laptops and laptop and ID. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So now I've stopped this.
Yeah, restart
Save.
again. Oh, you have already used response entity. Nice.
And
Then I hope today's class is more clear for you why we are using response entity.
right, but I mean, for the exception handling, I need to practice it.
Ah, that's fine.
When I write the code, I'm getting errors and
Hmm.
trying to find out where I did mistake and all.
Right, right. Okay, click send.
Let me. Okay, now I got it.
Working. Now verify ID 2. We don't have ID 2.
Laptop ID not found. Yes,
Yeah.
we don't have
So give ID different. 3 maybe. 3 is
three.
fine. Yeah. Things will get changed for ID 3 later.
Okay,
Now you have Intel there, it will get updated to something what you
Update laptop. Yes,
open the
laptop is
database as well.
updated.
Open database,
Okay, and refresh.
refresh.
Yeah, it's updated. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So every time if I want to add any extra column or something like that, so uh, the only process is I have to add
A field
in
in a
the
class.
laptop.java. Here I need to add private
Correct.
string and
Yes.
then add a public void and also override here
Hmm.
and then here also.
Right.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay.
Now I'll just try the delete option.
Hmm. Yeah, go for it. Delete the third ID.
Okay, laptop
Nice.
ID deleted successfully. Yeah, okay, got it.